my vlog!
Welcome to my guys!
Oh, that's terrible.
Bruh.
Okay, yeah, welcome to my new video. I'm Joshua, and today I wanted to talk about a cultural topic. As some of you might know, I'm a half Filipino, half Pinoy, and a half Dutch guy. The experiences that I have and the way that people look at me are quite different from your usual Filipino or typical Dutch guy. So I wanted to talk about how life is being a half Filipino, half Dutch guy. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so being a mixed Asian, mixed European guy has its pros and has its cons. Some of the pros have cons as well. It sounds weird, but you'll get me when I will explain it. For example, some people straight up call someone like me attractive because I've got a lighter skin, even though there are a bunch of morena or moreno people, you know, the people with a darker skin, that are beautiful as well. I mean, you know, you should embrace your own skin tone and your own culture and your own looks, you know. If you won't do it, who else will? But yeah, I could talk about that in another video about the Filipino beauty standard, but let's put that on the side. It has its pros, it has its cons. For example, I used to have a chance to become an actor in the Philippines. As weird as it sounds, some of you might not even believe me, but it's true. I had met this cast and this producer from a movie that they were recording back in Amsterdam, and yeah, you know, my dad was making connections, etc. And yeah, then I got in contact with this producer, and you know, he said like, yeah, sure, if you're going to the Philippines, to Manila, we could maybe set something up, you know, get your acting career on some path. But that never happened. But that was because I was very young and I didn't know anyone. I know that I had met Robin Padilla and Bella Padilla and some other actors that I don't know by name, but I know that they're quite famous there. At least I hope so. I don't know. But yeah, that is one of the pros as a half Filipino. But I need to talk about my half Dutch side as well, because you know, I'm also a proud Dutch guy, sort of. I make a lot of jokes about Dutch people, but that includes my own life as well. That sounds quite sad. Either way, I'm proud to be both a Pinoy and I'm proud to be a Dutch guy. Focus. My life as a Dutch guy, you know, I do live in the Netherlands. I do not live in the Philippines. You know, it has its benefits. For example, the educational level that I have here in the Netherlands is, you could say, a bit higher compared to the level in the Philippines, but it doesn't make the Philippines less intelligent or the people in the Philippines. I personally think that there's a bunch of talent in the Philippines. The chances that you'll get into a good university with some papers or some diplomas from the Netherlands are a bit higher compared to when you'll have your certificate or diplomas from the Philippines. Yeah, that's it. I can't make anything else out of it. Besides that, I have a bit more accessibility to, you know, learn about more culture here in the Netherlands, because let's start off with the fact that I grow up with two different cultures in one house. So my dad is Dutch, so I get the typical Dutch culture inside of me because of him. But I also have a Filipino mom, and you know, I get the typical Filipino culture from her, you know, and I like that myself. I'm proud that I can do that. But let's not forget that there's a lot of people that have foreign backgrounds here in the Netherlands as well. So I can learn a bunch of stuff from a bunch of random people that I could meet on the street or at school or I don't know, in the library, you know, everywhere, because you know there's people from Latino countries. I've met people from the UK here in the Netherlands, from other Asian countries, Eastern Europe, which is very different compared to the Western of Europe as well. I've met African people, literally everything, and I love that. I love the fact that I'm able to learn more and more from all of these different cultures here in the Netherlands, and I'm sure that you could do that in the Philippines as well, but the accessibility might be a bit harder, but I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, please write it down in the comments. If you'll write it down, please do it in Tagalog, because I want to learn Tagalog, but I don't know, I can't find the motivation. Please do that, so I can get motivated to talk in Tagalog and Bisaya, because you know my family is from the south, you know. Shout out Iligan. Why do I always talk so much out of my ass? I honestly don't know. You know, the downside of it is Dutch people look at me as a Filipino or as an Indonesian guy, because there's a lot of people from Indonesia here in the Netherlands because of the colonial history. So people ask me, like, yo, are you Indonesian? And I'm like, nah bro, nah girl, I'm half Filipino, half Dutch, you know, Pinoy. But I used to hear a lot of people ask me if I was Turkish or Moroccan back in the day. You know, back in the day I used to look different. I used to be pretty chubby, but now people just look at me like some random Indonesian guy. And you know, Indonesia and the Philippines are quite close to each other, so who cares? But yeah, people here look at me like a Filipino guy, so they call me Asian and whatnot. I've dealt with my share of racism here in the Netherlands as well. You know, people being racist towards me because I am Asian. You know, they do stuff like this or call me a poop Chinese or ching chang or whatnot. I mean, not every Asian country is China. And even if you'll do it towards a Chinese person, it's not cool as well. You're not funny. I mean, racism isn't cool at all. You're not making yourself any better by acting like that towards someone who's from an Asian country. And yeah, Filipino people look at me like a Dutch guy. I always hear, are you from the UK? Are you from England? Or Americano ka ba? You know, yeah. That was Tagalog, you know. I've got my motivation. But yeah, people always ask me if I'm American, English, Australian, and yeah, the last time when I went to the Philippines, they knew that I was a half Filipino, but they would still identify me as a Westerner. And I mean, it's okay, it doesn't really bother me that much, but I'm not really being full part of a certain group because I'm half. So yeah, yeah, what else can I explain? So yeah, that's my life as a half Dutch guy, half Pinoy. By the way, do I look like this Thai actor? Right, because I've heard it multiple times. I only wanted to copy his hairstyle. I personally think that I don't look like him, but there's people that say I do look like him. I mean, it's cool, you know. He's a good-looking guy. No homo, but he's a good-looking guy. And if you are gay, I mean, sure, you know, I don't care. You know, you could also find him attractive, or I don't know. Once again, I'm talking out of my ass. hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and you know, be safe, don't get sick, and don't get the virus. You know, I want everyone to be healthy, so be healthy, eat healthy, and care for yourself. You know, love, you know, to everyone. And yeah.
Bruh.
Goodbye.